An artificial cornea implanted in patient's eye. A modern Egyptian man taking a selfie with a 2,000-year-old portrait of an Egyptian man from the Roman era. Early morning foggy dusk Poland. Internet Explorer grave in South Korea. Internet Explorer. August 17, 1995 to June 15, 2022. He was a good tool to download other browsers. All 6,000 residents of this Polish town lived together on the same street. Enchanted Forest in Devon, England. Picture of Uranus taken by the James Webb Telescope. Bobby Wade's More. Who is your hero? Bobby Wade. My Mamor. She run off a porch thief with nothing but a Roman candle and a lead cigarette. My neighbor makes all of this wood art from scratch by hand. He doesn't think it is worth anything. This is a flat oil painting by Roger Heemstra. 16-year-old Bill Clinton shaking hands with John F. Kennedy at an American Legion Boys outing. The power of objects in motion. A bulk of aluminum, after it was hit by a 14-gram piece of plastic that was traveling 24,000 feet per second from a test shot in an aerospace lab. Baker Street Station, London. 159 years apart. Or 3,000-year-old bronze sword in extraordinary state unearthed in Germany. Art made using crackers. Iranian woman at the beach, 1960. Sea sheep, Costacea kuroshimi, are among the few sea creatures who can photosynthesize. Mobile, Alabama has internet purchase safe exchange zones set up outside police stations, so people can complete deals made online more safely. Internet purchase safe exchange zone. Provided by City of Mobile Police Department. Tokyo train station has a face-to-face live translation window with 12 languages. 20 minutes after atomic bomb was dropped on Nagasaki, colorization. First natural pink chocolate, ruby chocolate, no flavoring or color added, developed by the Franco-Belgian cocoa giant Berry Callebaut, in collaboration with Jacobs University. The ruby variety is a special type of cocoa bean, grown in Ivory Coast, Ecuador, and Brazil. A taxi driver with a balloon of gas on top of his vehicle, 1917. The gas was used instead of petrol during World War I. When the nation's banks closed during the Great Depression, Lita's Pharmacy in Pismo Beach, California, issued these clamshells as temporary replacement for real currency. They were signed as they changed hands and redeemed when cash became available again. The values ranged from 25 cents to $20. Air traffic across Asia is currently being rerouted around Typhoon Cannon, showing the aviation system's seamless accommodation of a major weather event. How a road changed over thousands of years. The way water froze in my half-filled bottle. Basically a bicycle with a V8 engine strapped to it was driven at 136 miles per hour in 1907 by Glenn Curtis. 225 million year old petrified opal tree trunk located in Arizona. Tarantulas keep frogs as pets to protect their eggs, and this is important information. A colorized photo of Robert McGee, a man who was scalped as a child by natives, 1864. A supermarket in Brazil adapted some of their shopping carts so dog owners could shop with their pets. Elephant garlic versus regular garlic. Jobs that no longer exist, knocker-ups. Bullet Train Alpha X, Japan. The picture I took of the MiG-23 jet, seconds before impact at the Thunder over Michigan Air Show. A photo of Mount St. Helens erupting during a local baseball game on May 18, 1980. Xiang'an Space Station, 2 years in service, versus ISS, 24 years. Caviar of the Colosseum, Rome. Inside of mechanical calculator. Staircase to an abandoned hotel in Bali, Indonesia. The first ever X-ray taken of a human, on December 22, 1895, showing the left hand, with wedding and engagement rings, belonging to the wife of German physicist Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen, who received the first Nobel Prize for Physics in 1901 for his discovery of X-rays. The closest view of Jupiter ever caught. Soccer game played at ancient Roman Colosseum, constructed between 27th BC to 68 AD, Pula Arena in Croatia. After the 1996 Port Arthur massacre, the Australian government introduced the Medicare Levy Amendment Act 1996 to raise $500 million through a one-off increase in the Medicare levy, to initiate the gun buyback scheme, where they bought privately owned guns from the people and destroyed them. Hercules is the largest living cat according to the Guinness Book of Records. He weighs nearly 1,000 pounds and 11 feet long. He is this big because he is Elijah, a combination of male lion and female tiger. This combination causes immense growth, but Hercules is the biggest in the world. The hybrid air vehicle's Airlander 10. It utilizes a combination of aerostatic and aerodynamic lift principles for flight. How photo manipulation can easily change narratives. The sphere in Las Vegas cosplaying as the moon. Homegrown fence. Selfie in 1957. The underside of a giant water lily. Global warming causing glacial flooding in Alaska. Buying cigarettes from a hospital bed, 1950. Inside of an airplane in 1930. X-ray of a chameleon, before laying its eggs. One of my masks. This mask is a real physical object. Pneumatic tubes connecting 23 post offices in New York City across 27 miles. Used until 1957. The Australian Crotalaria cunninghamii is a plant whose leaves look like little hummingbirds. An old diving suit. Lightning colliding with volcanic eruption. Chile. World War I era firefighter's helmet. Church over 100 meters under surface level in Krakow, Poland. Giraffe crane, Stockholm, Sweden. Antonio Banderas in Cat in Boots premiere. A slightly big homegrown tomato. This was a 250 megabytes hard drive in 1979. Mount Muro, a cinder cone volcano in Shizuoka, Japan. In 1731, King Frederick I of Sweden was gifted a lion, one of the first lions in Scandinavia. When the lion died shortly after, it was given to a taxidermist and this was the end product. Hedgehog Cottage, Lavenham, Suffolk. Part of the town was built in the 1500s, and in haste with green timber. As the wood dried, the timbers warped, causing the houses to bend at unexpected angles. The double statue of Mephistopheles and Margarita. The Sakon woodpecker admiring his stash in a granary tree in Sebastopol, California. A giant rock shaped as a lizard or dragon in Thailand. Memorial to Maria Magdalena Langhans, a woman who died during childbirth in 1751. The child was stillborn. I found out today that blue jays are known for having a balding phase in late summer. Horrifying and hilarious. Nervous system of a sea star, Pateria miniature. Ancient stump 1918 coal mine. In 1971, Sinclair's Oyster Rooms in Manchester, UK, was raised to street level to preserve its heritage. It was later relocated again, brick by brick this time. The Statue of Liberty was originally designed for the Suez Canal. Upon its completion, Bartholdi's working title was Egypt, or Progress, carrying the light to Asia, yet Egypt deemed it too expensive. It was ultimately rebranded as Liberty, enlightening the world. Face cones designed to protect against snowstorms and blizzards, 1939. NYPD entering a temporary headquarters in a Burger King on September 11th. Around 1 to 4% of the genomes of Eurasians and Native Americans is of Neanderthal ancestry, who probably weren't as ugly as popular opinion has them. 5 megabytes of data on 62,000 punch cards, 1955. The tallest mountain in the solar system, Olympus Mons on Mars. It has a height of 25 kilometers. Mount Everest is only 8.8 kilometers tall. Cow shoes used by moonshiners to hide their tracks during Prohibition. The Ostracan. This is a 3,200-year-old attendance sheet taken at work in ancient Kemet or Egypt. Our Egyptian hieratic script was written on limestone and provided information such as the date, season, and number, the name of the worker, and the reason for being absent. Provisioning a 900 crew World War I dreadnought for 1 month. Glock 19 disguised as a Nerf gun. Daisuji technique is a sustainable method of tree planting and pruning, so that the remaining shoots grow straight from a platform. Rather than harvesting the entire tree for lumber, only the upper portions are felled, leaving the base and root structure intact. Originated in 14th century Kyoto. The sand colony in one of my plants. The idea for what would become the George Foreman grill was originally offered to Hulk Hogan. He declined. Foreman has made over $500 million from this product alone. In 2009, a Hungarian art historian was watching the 1999 film Stuart Little and spotted a long-lost famous painting called Sleeping Lady with Bulk Face, 1927, being used as set decoration. It had been lost since World War II and was later sold for $300,000 at auction. Concorde G-boat, notable as having made the fastest Atlantic crossing of any Concorde, New York to London in 2 hours, 52 minutes, and 59 seconds. In 1960, David Latimer placed a plant in a bottle and watered it until 1972. Since then, no watering was necessary as the sealed bottle was its own ecosystem. A dried stingray. 5,655 carat emerald. The ice anemone, Edward Sealer and Drilly, is a species of anemone that live and grow on the underside of sea ice. They were only discovered in 2010 and scientists still don't know how they attach themselves to the ice or how they don't freeze. The SCPTL, self-contained extended plate tape loop. the world's tallest single-masted sailing vessel, 246 feet or 75 meters, dwarfs cruise ships, and cannot fit under the Golden Gate Bridge. Bloody gloves belonging to Abraham Lincoln. When the president was shot by John Wilkes Booth, some of the blood ran down his sleeve and pooled in the pocket which contained the gloves. The bolt turret on a B-17 bomber. This is the inside of a sea turtle's mouth. The Salt Cathedral in Poland. The blood vessels of a hand. Cube houses in the Netherlands. The Menendez brothers, currently serving life sentences for killing their own parents, can be spotted sitting courtside in the background of NBA player Mark Jackson's 1990 trading card. Bologna, Italy. Under this public library were ruins found to be dated since before Roman civilization. Tonight's meteor shower is worth staying up for. According to Forbes, up to 100 shooting stars per hour are visible during peak hours. This candle produces oxygen on submarines by burning at 600 degrees Celsius, 1112 degrees Fahrenheit. One candle can provide 20 hours of breathable air for 4 people. Motorbike engraved on a gold disc placed inside a hair by Graham Short. A love poem from my 3x great-grandfather to his future wife, December 30th, 1883. Carrots have spikes. Massive 70mm film print shipment for a Penhema. Twins Days Festival 2023 in Twinsburg, Ohio. Recognized as the largest annual gathering of twins in the world by the Guinness Book of World Records. High-tech company celebrating birthday with style, Stuttgart, Germany. Bioluminescence is the production and emission of light by living organisms. A form of marine plankton, known as bioluminescent dinoflagellates, are the source of the light on the incoming waves. This picture right up of a cordyceps infected wasp. Cruise ship and dry dock. Giant drawer in North Carolina. Mud skippers are one of the few fish species that live the majority of their life on land. They use pectoral fins to move in the mud and will jump high off the ground to attract mates. Arrowhead made from meteorite 3,000 years ago found near lake in Europe. The amount of tornado sirens in Illinois. This urinal has a soccer goal, so you can name it the Bull. Biggest washer at my plant. Graveyard of B-29s off the runway of Tinian Island after World War II. A piece of the 1866 transatlantic telegraph cable laid between Valentia Island, Ireland and Hearts Content, Newfoundland. Transatlantic telegraph cable, laid in 1866 between Valentia Island and Newfoundland. A baseball ticket from 1934, between the St. Paul and Minneapolis police departments. Complete heterochromia, having 2 different colored eyes, is a well-known, albeit rare human trait, but did you know there is another type called central heterochromia? It's when the center of the iris is a different color than the outer portion, often confused with hazel eyes, heterochromia, and hazel. The explosion of MiG-23 at the Thunder over Michigan Air Show on Sunday. The first Beware of the Dog some years BC. This mosaic was part of the Orpheus house and was found during some excavations in Pompeii. Now it is kept at the Man. In Latin we say cave canem. Lived in the same place my whole life and just found out the river blooms bioluminescence every year. There are about 1.5 million people in this picture for World Youth Day Lisbon 2023. A close-up of a mineral called cuprite. It has a natural cubic symmetry. A hairless squirrel. Tracks of all known Category 5 Atlantic hurricanes between 1851 and 2019. Although officially denying that USSR entered the moon race against the US, they developed their own lunar landing system. Cool worm on the chair in my front yard. My daughter says it looks like a little Pokemon. This unheated, natural gem is known as Madeira citrine. This 10.50 carat beauty is named after a wine made on the island of Madeira, Portugal. Although mined in Brazil, it's named due to its striking color similarity to the Portuguese wine. The only airborne image of a Concorde at Mach 2 taken from a British fighter plane. The fighter plane could only fly at the same speed very briefly, because it would run out of gas at that speed. The Concorde could fly for hours. Truly incredible engineering. The Tree of Doubt. During World War II, the Germans used this tree to hang partisans. After the region it was in was liberated, partisans hung Germans. The shadows of this Veterans Day memorial only line up properly once per year, at exactly 11:11 AM on November 11th, in honor of the Armistice Treaty that ended World War I. Kevin Yeager did special effects for both Child's Play, 1988, and Tales from the Crypt, 1989. He reused some animatronic parts, so Chucky and the Crypt Keeper literally have the same ducking eyes.